right, excellent. Today we're going to take a look at Rosehill Preserve. This is an apartment here in Orlando, Florida, and we're just going to take a look at some various aspects of the site, what I like, what I don't like, and some recommendations. The three main concepts or components that we're going to take a look at today are tailoring content to your audience, making it easy to take action, and then also placing several call to action elements or CTAs on each page to drive traffic to specific locations in the site. So from the beginning, what we could do is we'll just take a look. I love the logo. I love the minimalist design that they have going on in the site. One thing that I notice with apartments is in the top right, 99% of apartments that I've worked with, you'll notice that there's an apply, a residence portal, and then a phone number. And we can see up here that the three elements almost blend together. I know that apply is outlined in a different color, which is great, but the purpose of this site is to get new people in the door to sign leases, not necessarily to get current residents to pay their bills. There's other ways to do that. So what I recommend is removing that residence link, putting it somewhere else, and really making this about signing new leases. So what that would include is getting that phone number larger, as well as that apply button a little bit stand out a little bit more. We could tell that this is a one-page website design because we could click on these various elements and we see that it scrolls us down the page. So again, we're going to come up to the top with that in mind and scroll down a little bit. The first thing I see is a very nice About Us section. I think that it's really nice that it has the kind of rooms that they offer, the premium features, the luxury editions, and also that it's in Orlando, Florida. One thing that I'd recommend in this area is to drop this part right here down one paragraph. And the reason I mention that is because it does look a little bit compressed. And on average, I usually like to keep my paragraphs about 2 to 4 sentences in each paragraph, just because for readability, also helps it stand out on mobile, and those kind of items are very important when it comes to usability and accessibility. As we continue to scroll down, we really see the bread and butter of any apartment website, the amenities. The amenities are really what are the value propositions that you bring to the table for people who are looking for a new apartment. And 2 swimming pools, wow, that sounds really good. 1 tennis court, great, I love to play tennis. You have dog park, fitness center, control gates, that's all really good, but it doesn't, in its current state right now, this section doesn't give you much context. I don't know what size the swimming pools are. I don't know when they're open. I don't know how they look. I also don't know how well kept the tennis court is. What's a large and a small dog park? Is that for the dog, or is that the actual size, the landmass for those parks? The other thing too is for a luxury apartment, they're really missing out on this site an opportunity to improve the SEO. So you could do, a link here that would expand out to more information about each amenity, because when it comes down to it, people aren't buying the apartment or renting the apartment for the apartment. They're renting that for the ease of use, for the lifestyle, and for the other perks that come around other than going to another apartment or buying a house or something like that. So again, playground, is that just a pit of dirt with a swing, or how large is it? Is it well kept? So I don't know. I think that has a lot of opportunity there for SEO optimization, where you could really integrate a lot of keywords. And then on top of that, you could also show people using it and help your potential new residents to actually envision themselves in that area. One thing I noticed too is that there's not many call to actions, which is one of the concepts that we want to take a look at. As we scroll down, I usually like to keep call to actions every 2 to 3 sections. So this is a section, the slideshow. This is a section, the About Us. This is a section, the amenities. So what I would recommend is that this apartment complex for their website includes some call to actions here. And the simplest way to do that is to make a band, a full width band, with a different color that stands out, and then have a white button in there that says Are you ready to apply? Apply now. Or check out our room, or our floor plans or something like that. And it helps to progress the audience through the customer journey. And that's something that's really missing here that stands out, is the inability to take action as I need it. Review sections are really important for anything from e-commerce, but especially for apartments, because you're signing a year-long lease for $1,500 a month, which comes up to be a good amount of money. And this review section is kind of worthless, in my opinion. It's great that they have a review section. However, I don't know what these stars mean. Are these stars empty? I actually tried to click them, because I've come to think that stars should be gold if they're filled out. So is there staff, living space, noise, parking? Are those all 0 out of 5 stars? And what's the 93% mean? Is that just 93, like 93 people like it? What parts do they like? Things like that. So what I've come to notice, and you can see this in a lot of places like Amazon and other places, e-commerce stores, I always like to keep it with 3 testimonials. I can almost envision it, there's 3 columns with either rotating or static, with the current resident's face, so you could actually start to kind of feel connection. And then a 2 to 3 sentence with some stylized. I think that would go a long way. And then also a call to action right below it, because again, that's like a social trigger. And what that's going to do is improve the social proof, and then also make it a little bit easier and to trust the apartment and to make your choice. And this one is a little bit more advanced, but I did want to point it out. This had to do with floor plans, and this is really the core of what we're doing here, is that we're trying to get people to sign a lease for their needs. So I'm going to go ahead and click on one of the floor plans, Daisy. Okay, I need a 2-bed, 1-bath. It's great that it's 3D, because I could really envision myself here and see what the layout would look like. Man, this is good information, but what do I need to download? And at the same time, the download doesn't even work. And then if we go down here, availability, remember I clicked on Daisy, so that means I need a 2-bed, 1-bath. This opens you up to a new page, kind of disruptive. I don't know if I trust this. Is this legit? I don't know. But as I go down, this is a lot of information that I don't necessarily need, because I was only interested in the Daisy floor plan. But as we look here, there's nothing here on Daisy. So either Daisy is not available, or they're just not selling it anymore. But either way, this really disrupts the user journey, because at this point, I trusted the site enough and I wanted the product that I clicked on it. However, looks like the Daisy floor plan is not available. And one way that this site could prevent this from happening is just to include some kind of notification down here that says that works with their database or whatever it might be, that just says this is not available right now. And that's going to prevent me from committing and getting excited, like, oh, I finally found a 2-bed, 1-bath, 915 square feet. But when I actually go and try to sign the lease or take the next steps, I find out that it's not there. That could get kind of frustrating. Again, another call to action here would be great if that was included. I don't know what this is. I actually clicked on this and it's not doing anything, so that's kind of wasted space. This doesn't really do much of anything. Like the leasing office it's pretty easy to find that. I don't know if you need a big picture of it. And photos are great to actually show people what they're getting into, build that trust, help people envision that they're actually going to be there. I would recommend putting the photo section maybe a little bit higher up, and then integrating photos like these photos throughout the site. So instead of just having a photo section, you can actually have like a 3/4, 1/4 layout in certain ribbons, or certain rows, and the photos would be in that 1/4, so people could still engage. And then the neighborhood section is a pretty cool idea. I think it's vanity. I was just clicking on these. It doesn't really help me, and it seems to actually slow down the load speed. So I would recommend taking this out, and you could fill this out more on like your maybe a blog or something like that, and do some kind of partnerships or things like that. And then finally, the Contact Us page. At this point, if somebody scrolled down this far, they should be ready to purchase with you. If you want to get them to email you, I would take out all of this stuff. Maybe just first and last name and email. I don't think you need phone number. I mean, if you want it, you could, but that's up to you. It's really important just to get the information up front and then work from there. And social scene, there's nothing even here, so I don't know if a social scene is actually necessary. So there we have it. We just looked through the Rosehill Preserve, which is an apartment building here in Orlando, Florida. And this is just an ongoing series looking at different ways to improve apartment building websites, excuse me. And we can use these concepts to not only improve apartment websites, but also apply that to e-commerce and any other kind of websites for your needs. So thanks for watching. Hope this worked. We will be putting some links in the description for additional resources in case you need them. And we look forward to taking a look at additional websites with you in the future.